Hello, everyone. So today, I want to talk about this new AI model that's been going viral recently. It's called SeeDance 2.0. Now, as you can see, 2 days ago I posted this video that I made using this AI model on YouTube Shorts. And basically, this is all reference to video where I reference two characters as individual images, and the background is also an individual image. And it can create such high-motion scenes. All the styles, everything, it's so coherent and so consistent with the character styles. Whereas you haven't seen other AI models do this before, even Sora hasn't been able to pull off camera motions like this. Or we see different multi-shot video scenes, different video footage right here. Now this is all generated by the AI itself. I just did some stitching every 15 seconds. Now let's check out this AI model, because even though this isn't an open source AI model, yay. I know, too bad it's not open source. I still want to talk about it because it's important for understanding how AI video model and the AI industry as a whole in the tech world is evolving. First of all, let's recap some history. Remember that last year, ByteDance, the same company, created an open source project called Phantom? Actually, these all share the same concept. We've already played around with referencing images of characters or objects, and we could create video footage about 5 seconds long. All of these were based on WAN 2.1 when it was first released. ByteDance Phantom built on the WAN 2.1 base model and did additional fine-tuning for this project. Now, of course, on the CapCut platform, you're not seeing that old model level of motions and quality. The SeeDance 2.0, it's just way different level. And all these open-source projects feels like a part of the research lab testing and proof of concept before they release the main course.
I have not slept with your sister!
I just saw you in the room with her and your pants off!
And recently, they have a new video model project called Alive. As you can see, it's from the ByteDance Alive team. They're planning to make this one open source. There are some hints on their GitHub project page that this might be open source, and also on this demo page here. It also takes image to video and text to video with audio generation, just like what you see with some new AI video model it released recently. AI video models are not only handling visuals anymore, but also audio, or in simpler terms, character lip syncing as well. But I'm wondering if Alive, this AI model, are going to happen so close in time after they just released SeeDance 2.0, and then they release this project open source on GitHub? Who knows? Because usually, they'll have a GitHub project like this, put up some information introducing what the project is, and that project won't have any source code or AI model files on Hugging Face for a very long time. So yeah, we'll keep track and see what happens for the open source space. Will we actually get access to this or not? But honestly, don't get your hopes too high. So this model, as you can see, scroll down here, the model parameter count is 12B. That's 12 billion parameters for the video transformer model, and the audio transformer model is 2 billion parameters. And this model, first stage output, generates at 480p resolution. The efficiency is enabled to upscale up to 1080p for audio to video generation. You see the graph here, the concept really looks like what we just experienced with LTX2. It has that first stage sampling stage 1 bringing in the audio and the 480p video. Then we have the refiner as a second stage to bring it up to 1080p for benchmark. Well, again, I'm not always fully trusting those benchmark claims, but just take them as a reference. We have to test it ourselves. And different people have different preferences, different styles for video generation. So it's not like one model does the best for everyone. Some people might still prefer using WAN 2.1 or WAN 2.2. As you can see right now, I've got some examples here. Two people playing basketball with multiple different shots, and this panel here comes from the Chinese version of the CapCut website. So on the main page like this, we can actually see the same layout on Dreamina AI, which is under CapCut.com. When you sign into Dreamina AI, there's the same interface layout, just one's in English and this one's in Chinese. It serves domestic Chinese users. But then the payment part, even I had some trouble with it, so I asked my friend for help for this payment gateway, and I can test it out. Anyway, long story short, problem solved. So the interface is the same, and when I translate it to English, you can see all the button images, the icons, all the labels are identical to Dreamina AI and the international version at CapCut.com. Anyway, I'm not going to describe too much about the company backgrounds or anything. I just want to bring up that the open source version of this, well, I can't exactly say it's the open source version of SeeDance 2.0, but it does have some similar features inherited from Phantom that we played around with before. And those features made their way into SeeDance 2.0. Reference to video is the most important, or the main thing that differentiates SeeDance 2.0. When I tried it out, you can see most of my generated videos used only character images as reference. This is called all-round reference video generation. It basically uses video generation with all-round reference. It can take up to 12 reference objects, and those objects include images, videos, audio, and text. So this isn't just visual video generation, it also includes audio, sound, or characters talking natively within the video itself. There's also a first and last frames video type, where you can attach two images for the first and last frame, as you can see right here. But I'm not really a fan of this one because it gives the AI less freedom to create high-motion, dynamic camera work or really good camera cutscenes. Whereas the most exciting and the biggest selling point of SeeDance 2.0 is that all-round reference feature from this new model. As you can see, there's a new label here. This is a new feature from CapCut. So in this video, I'll mostly be talking about reference to video because that's what's exciting. That's what's making this AI model go viral. And even a lot of news media have been talking about it recently. We've all seen those crazy fight scenes and high-motion video footage online. It's all using the reference to video method with SeeDance 2.0. But if you want video to video with this model, you can like this one here where I have footage of a character image, and on the right side, that's a reference video. We use this reference video as motion guidance for the character, but the lip syncing isn't coming from the reference video. The character's lip syncing here actually comes from the audio I attached. So let's check out these examples first.
感谢有梅拉维支持我，我想为腰标自行。然后现在我来会试着去公众后援的工作，跟你们的希望，我会继续努力了，给你们来创作更好的内容。
So for video to video, we can totally do that with SeeDance 2.0, no problem at all. This also has a similar concept to what we saw in War 2.2, but the quality compared to this one? No contest. This is just on another level entirely. Another video-to-video motion example, I actually had video footage of this character boxing, and using that footage, I transferred it to these anime characters. One's the Demon King here, and the other is an anime girl. They did this character replacement while keeping the background the same. I also tried it out with an English prompt, so you guys can see that even though I switched the UI layout back to the original Chinese display, the text prompt here is still in English. That means the AI model has no problem handling multi-language text prompts. And this footage, if you've been checking out my last video about comfy UI custom nodes, this is actually the last footage from the ending part of that video. I put in two characters talking, and I referenced these same two characters from my last video, the ones I used with the 3D pose model as the character models here. And I actually put this tool into the video footage like this. Just by using reference to video, you can see it's able to create very consistent character styles, almost identically the same. And the backgrounds, well, I didn't even use any image backgrounds here. I just used a text prompt to create the background for this scene, trying to give it more freedom. I was testing how these AI models work even when I don't provide any background footage, and it worked. It actually followed through, or at least I didn't have to regenerate multiple times to get a good video shot here. So a lot of the time when I tried out these AI models over the last couple of days, almost all the footage only took 1 or 2 generations to get right. So the success rate for this AI model is doing pretty well. So why do I want to bring up this paid model when my channel mostly talks about open source models? First of all, I want to mention that, as I just talked about, ByteDance Phantom was an open source project. And now, after 1 year, it's evolved into something like what we see in SeeDance 2.0. A lot of the time when we see AI models, or in other fields like science, they have trial periods. They get test users to gather statistics, audience feedback, and so on. So, what I've seen throughout this whole period as AI trends from language model, image, and video AI have evolved over the last couple of years, it is that companies are doing what makes sense for them. They release open source models to let users test the early prototype, prove that it works, and then they bring it to a commercialized product stage. That's also happened in software development, even way back to no AI era. But a lot of users have forgotten what this really is. This would stay open source forever, and expect the company to keep updating these AI models with a new version to download. Let's be realistic. Even if this sounds a bit blunt, some open source projects function more like testing grounds. What I mean is, kind of like how pharmaceutical companies create trial medicines and use lab rat testing to refine them before releasing to the actual market. There are 2 ways to look at this. From a company perspective, there's nothing wrong with that approach for them. Open source fans might feel disappointed, of course, because didn't have the happy moment to rush in hugging face and download it. So I don't really think there's a right or wrong here, it's just different perspectives on how technology evolves. But for open source users, if you just want to use AI for hobbies or fun, then yeah, 100% free downloads are totally suitable for what you need. But if you're using it for business or commercial purposes, you want the best performing output from your software or AI models, then of course you'd want the most stable, highest performing AI model available. Still, I think there's definitely space for local AI. I've always believed that we're not just talking about open source here, we're talking about running things locally. And by the way, stepping back to look at the bigger picture, I still think there's space for local AI workflows. Like in e-commerce marketing campaigns that I often work on, if you need a video ad, you could use these high-performance AI models from platforms like this, and using local AI as an addition tool. And it might not just be ByteDance. Maybe next month there'll be an even better AI model that surpasses SeeDance 2.0. But at least you could use these platforms to generate base video footage or any media. And since these platforms usually have content restrictions if you're working on movie filming and need violence, blood, or other restricted content that these platforms won't generate, then bring those SFW footage and use local AI models for video editing. You just have to play smart with it. And it's not just video since we're talking about multimedia now, but throughout all these showcases and other people's showcases online right now showing SeeDance 2.0, I would try to stay open-minded. See how far closed-source AI models running on company servers have compared to what you can generate on your local AI model. See the quality difference. See how far open-source models still have to go and how much ground they might be behind closed-source models right now. And that's also my channel purpose, as it's called the AI Playground. Just like WAN AI video, even though we all love WAN 2.1 and WAN 2.2, look what's happening now. There's almost always a trial period, the early stage where companies bring in users to test their stuff. That's one strategy. I don't want to sound harsh to anyone, but it helps to see things clearly. This is just how the industry works. So don't get too caught up in illusions or sky-high expectations like thinking some companies will act like charities and keep models open source forever while continuously updating new versions for free. And hey, even Comfy UI are bringing cloud solution and bring more business models. An open source company need business model too. So that's my take on where video models, the honest things about open source in. That's it for this video. See you on the next one.